Hey everyone, Tactics here with a quick guide to Lady INERVA DARKVEIN on both normal and heroic difficulties. If you found this video helpful, please make sure you like and subscribe for more content like it, and let's hop right in. INERVA has 4 abilities she will use throughout the encounter that will be buffed based on the level of anima in their corresponding container near the front of the room, which is shown in the boss UI. To reduce the level of anima in a container, a player can click on it, putting a dot on them and dealing low raid damage. If a container ever reaches 100% anima, it will pulse for heavy raid damage, which pretty much always leads to a wipe. INERVA will occasionally lock a container, making it unable to be cleared, essentially forcing you to deal with certain empowered abilities. She will always start with the furthest left container, locking containers from left to right every 100 seconds or when she is damaged for 25% of her health. You want to have players assigned to drain each of these containers, and we found the best way to deal with them is to immediately drain a container after INERVA finishes locking it, and also drain the container she will lock next just before she transitions to it. Aside from this, just make sure other unlocked containers stay below 33%. To start the fight off, INERVA will lock the container for the tank debuff Exposed Desires. This is normally just a dot used at 100 energy, and you'll want to ton off at 2 stacks. When its anima container reaches 33%, that damage is copied to random players, so they'll need spot heals and potentially personals when this happens. When it reaches 66%, the dot will explode when it expires, dealing raid damage based on distance, so just have your inactive tank run to the back of the balcony to drop their stacks. After 100 seconds or when the boss reaches 75% health, this container will unlock, and she'll lock the next container for the Bottled Anima ability. This ability just puts red circles on the ground that need to be soaked or the raid takes a big spike of damage. At 33%, these circles will also leave behind a puddle, and at 66%, these bottles will bounce once, so you need to soak each cast twice. After another 100 seconds or when INERVA reaches 50% health, she'll move her lock to the next container, affecting the Sins and Suffering ability. This ability spawns 3 orbs in the room and connects 3 players with red lines, knocking them back in the process. These 3 players need to stand in a way such that their connecting beams hit all 3 orbs, otherwise they'll explode, dealing a ton of raid-wide damage. At 33%, these orbs are also connected by beams which deal a ton of damage to anyone who passes through them, so try to avoid doing this. At 66%, these beams now rotate around the orbs, so if any spawn near the boss, you'll have to move her away to avoid them. I definitely recommend using Bloodlust here, as this is the phase we struggled with the most. When 100 more seconds have passed, or when the boss reaches 25% health, she will move her lock to the last container, which is for her Concentrated Anima ability. This marks 1 player on normal and 2 on heroic, spawning a big ad on normal that needs to be tanked, and adding a small ad on heroic that needs to be kicked. You'll want to bring these circles as close to the boss as possible to make it easier to cleave, so make sure you immediately avoid these players when they come in. At 33%, the marked players are rooted, which can be cleansed in the normal ways with things like Tiger's Lust, Blessing of Freedom, and Druid Shapeshift. At 66%, the detonation also shoots out fragments of shadow that the raid needs to dodge. So to recap, make sure 1 player is assigned to drain the anima of each container, keeping it below 33% when it's not locked. For Exposed Desires, taunt at 2 stacks of the dot. When its container is above 33%, make sure you're spot healing at debuffed raid members, and when it's above 66%, make sure the inactive tank runs away before the debuff expires. For Bottled Anima, make sure someone is soaking each red circle, avoiding the puddles that spawn when above 33% anima, and getting the bounce soaked when above 66% anima. For Sins and Suffering, the linked players need to position themselves so their beams pass through all 3 orbs. Above 33% anima, beams also connect these orbs, which you'll want to avoid at all costs, and they rotate above 66% anima. Finally, for Concentrated Anima, players need to bring the explosion close to the boss as it spawns ads that need to be cleaved down. At 33%, these players are rooted, so make sure they get cleansed. At 66%, the explosion spawns orbs that the raid needs to dodge. But that is it for my quick guide to Lady INERVA DARKVEIN on normal and heroic difficulty. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content like it. You can also follow me on Twitter or check me out on Twitch, both at Tactics. Thanks everyone so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.